Have you ever noticed that people often form an opinion about you before even hearing your voice? It's uncomfortable to admit, but the truth is that your posture, your gaze, the way you occupy space, and even the silence you maintain say much more than you imagine. For those who live with that subtle insecurity, the kind that doesn't scream but tightens the chest, this can be frustrating. It seems that, no matter how hard you try, there's always a detail in your body, face, or walk that reveals what you'd rather hide. But there is a different path. A silent, almost invisible yet profoundly powerful path. A path the Stoics knew well: self-mastery. They didn't need to raise their voices to be respected, nor impose their presence to be noticed. It was enough to be there, fully present, with a serene expression and a presence that conveyed effortless strength. And the good news? You too can learn this, step by step, gesture by gesture, until your confidence begins to speak for you, even when your mouth remains closed. Today, you'll discover how small adjustments can transform not only how others see you, but especially how you perceive yourself. This might even cause a slight feeling of discomfort at first. After all, changing your internal and external posture requires courage. But I guarantee, in the end, everything will make sense. You are about to learn a silent language that few master, and that changes everything. Posture is always the first silent announcement we make to the world, and it almost always reveals more than we would like. When the body slumps, even subtly, insecurity infiltrates our presence like someone who arrives quietly and tries to go unnoticed. Drooping shoulders, a retracted chest, that gaze that avoids settling. All of this creates an atmosphere that weakens your expression even before you say good morning. Adjusting your posture doesn't mean becoming a rigid statue, much less forcing an air of superiority. In practice, it means aligning your spine, opening your chest naturally, and allowing each gesture to communicate firmness. It's almost like saying, silently, I am here. And, curiously, it is in this small bodily alignment that the brain begins to reorganize its own perception of confidence. When you adopt a conscious posture, something interesting happens. The world responds differently. Try, for example, entering a room with your chin parallel to the ground, breathing slowly and walking with rhythm. You'll notice glances that interpret this presence differently. It's not magic, it's body language working in your favor. This daily choice breaks the cycle of habits that reinforce insecurity and opens space for a posture that inspires respect effortlessly. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Many readers tell me they are surprised to realize that a simple adjustment in how they stand even changes the tone of their voice. That's why posture prepares the ground for something even more powerful: the gaze, which will be the next step in this silent journey. Eye contact is one of the most subtle and impactful forms of presence, and it often reveals what we try to hide. When insecurity appears, it usually manifests itself in that quick, almost automatic look away when we meet someone's eyes. It's curious how a simple gesture can convey doubt or hesitation, even if the rest of your posture is aligned. Developing a steady gaze, and here I'm not talking about staring as if you're in a duel, is actually an exercise in inner balance. It's looking naturally, intentionally, as if you're truly present. Small seconds of sustained eye contact can change your expression and reinforce a confident presence. And the more you practice, the more you realize that this serene gaze reduces the invisible anxiety that sometimes tries to control our actions. Interestingly, this steady gaze also reorganizes how others position themselves in front of you. A clear, light, and stable gaze gives the feeling that you know what you're doing, even when you're still learning. It's almost an extension of Stoicism. Not overreacting, not deviating too much, just remaining present. Start practicing in simple situations. Greeting someone, listening to a question, receiving an opinion. Gradually, you'll notice that your gaze becomes a powerful ally, reinforcing your posture and balancing your expression in moments of tension. And this silent mastery creates a natural path to the next point. Walking, which reveals as much as your gaze, and tells the world where you're going without you having to open your mouth. Walking is almost a silent signature of what you feel inside. Many people don't realize it, but just observing a few steps is enough to identify traces of insecurity, hidden in unnecessary haste, dragging steps, or that uncoordinated movement that reveals tension. When you walk without intention, your body speaks for you, and often it says exactly what you would like to omit. Therefore, adjusting your walk is not about choreography, but about awareness. Each step can convey presence, stability, and even serenity, especially when aligned with a firm posture and a balanced gaze. And the most curious thing is that this change doesn't require excessive effort. Just slow down a little, align your breathing, and let your body occupy the space without rushing. By walking in a steady and rhythmic way, you send a silent message of control to the world, almost as if saying, "I know where I am and where I'm going." This reduces the feeling of disorganization that accompanies insecurity and strengthens your own confidence. Try observing leaders, teachers, or people you admire. Notice how they rarely walk hurriedly or haphazardly. There is a clear intention there, a cadence that inspires respect. Practicing this in your daily life, whether entering a room, crossing a hallway, or arriving at a meeting, profoundly transforms your presence. And when you master this inner rhythm, you realize you don't need to fill every space with words. And that's when silence begins to work in your favor. Silence, when used well, is one of the most powerful tools for revealing presence and confidence, even in moments when insecurity tries to manifest itself. Many people feel an almost immediate need to fill any empty space with words, as if silence betrayed fragility. But it's quite the opposite. Conscious silence shows emotional mastery, clarity, and inner composure. It creates a space where you breathe, observe, think, and only then speak. This natural pause, far from seeming like hesitation, conveys balance and makes others pay attention to what you say, and even to what you don't say. It's curious how a second of silence can transform the expression of an entire conversation. Using silence strategically also prevents impulsive responses, those that often stem from insecurity and end up revealing more than we would like. When you pause before speaking, you convey presence and subtly, yet firmly, reinforce your boundaries. Furthermore, silence serves as a kind of stoic anchor, allowing you to observe the situation without being swept away by it. A good practice is, when asked a question, breathe before answering. That alone changes your posture, your gaze, and even your walk during the interaction. And when you begin to master this technique, you realize that your face also begins to reflect this serenity, which leads us to the next point, where facial expression becomes as revealing as silence itself. The face is like an involuntary narrator. Even when you try to keep everything under control, your expression reveals nuances of insecurity that slip out in milliseconds. A raised eyebrow, a furrowed brow, pursed lips. Every detail reveals how you are interpreting the moment. Therefore, developing a more neutral and serene facial expression is a powerful way to reinforce presence and prevent hasty emotions from stealing the show. It's not about erasing feelings, but about preventing the face from reacting before the mind. This serenity creates a kind of emotional shield, allowing you to absorb the environment without conveying fragility. And the more you practice, the more you realize that controlling your expression acts as an antidote to momentary anxiety. A practical tool is to observe yourself in everyday situations. When listening to criticism, when receiving unexpected news, when talking to someone who causes tension. Notice how your expression changes and practice softening your facial muscles. It may seem simple, even strange at first, but this practice completely alters your mental posture. It's almost a stoic exercise applied to the body. You decide how to react, not the other way around. Over time, your expression becomes aligned with your walk, your gaze, and even your silence, creating a presence that inspires confidence effortlessly. And when this expression harmonizes with how you present yourself to the world, even your appearance begins to reflect the security you are building, the next step in this journey. Appearance acts as a business card that precedes your voice, and it can convey both confidence and insecurity without you realizing it. It's not about wearing expensive clothes or following trends. It's about consistency. When you dress carelessly, the world interprets it as a lack of self-care, which directly affects your presence. On the other hand, clean, simple, and well-fitting clothing communicates organization and self-respect. It's curious how an ironed shirt, clean shoes, or a discreet accessory can enhance your gaze, your posture, and even your walk. Small details, when aligned, avoid distractions and allow your expression and composure to stand out. A practical way to improve your appearance is to choose a basic and functional style, something that doesn't require daily mental effort. This reduces anxiety when presenting yourself and strengthens your inner composure, as it eliminates unnecessary doubts. Neutral, well-structured clothing helps convey composure, even on days when insecurity tries to take over. Think of leaders you admire. They almost always present refined simplicity because they understand that clothing shouldn't draw attention on its own, but complement their presence. When appearance and expression work together, the whole body communicates clarity. And this clarity prepares you for an essential point: remaining emotionally stable, even when the environment descends into chaos. Impassivity is not coldness, much less indifference. It is the ability to remain centered when everything around you seems to push you off balance. Insecurity often reveals itself precisely in these moments of emotional chaos, when the body reacts before the mind and the expression betrays more than it should. Therefore, cultivating impassivity is like strengthening an internal muscle. It requires practice, awareness, and above all, presence. Taking a deep breath before responding, maintaining a stable posture, and adjusting your gaze calmly already completely changes the energy of the situation. It's impressive how this conscious calm reduces the impact of provocations and strengthens your confidence, even in challenging situations. Applying impassivity in daily life is simpler than it seems. Start by observing how you react to small setbacks. Someone speaks harshly, something doesn't go as expected, a snide comment comes up in the middle of a conversation. Instead of reacting impulsively, allow yourself a pause, that same strategic silence you're already learning to use. This pause realigns your emotional state, adjusts your facial expression, and consolidates natural boundaries. Over time, you'll notice that your presence becomes more solid, less vulnerable to external noise. And when impassivity becomes part of you, establishing clear boundaries becomes not only necessary but a gesture of self-respect, as we'll see in the next point. Setting boundaries is one of the most elegant and firm signs of inner security. When you say yes when you want to say no, insecurity takes the wheel and steers your choices, almost always to places that drain energy and weaken your presence. Clear boundaries don't need to be aggressive. On the contrary, the more serene they are, the more powerful they are. They stem from an aligned posture, a firm gaze, and a calm expression that effortlessly communicates that you respect your own space. It's interesting to see how people begin to react differently when you consistently establish these boundaries. They begin to understand that excesses, demands, and emotional invasions no longer find free rein. Implementing this in your daily life can begin with small actions. If someone tries to impose an urgency that isn't yours, calmly respond, "I can't give that my attention right now, but I can look at it later." If an invitation comes up that you don't want to accept, use elegant honesty. "Thank you, but I won't be participating this time." These simple responses adjust your emotional posture and prevent insecurity from creeping into your relationships. Over time, your boundaries become a natural part of your presence, strengthening your impassivity and consolidating the confidence you project. And when these boundaries are well established, something special happens. Your presence begins to carry a silent magnetism that doesn't need to be announced, only perceived. Exactly the theme of our next point. Presence is that almost invisible element that makes some people stand out even when they don't say a single word. It arises from the sum of everything you've been building: posture, gaze, walk, silence, expression, appearance, impassivity, and boundaries. When these elements begin to align, insecurity loses ground and presence gains strength. Truly being in the moment, without anticipating judgments, without hiding behind anxious thoughts, creates a natural magnetism. People notice it even without understanding why. It's as if your energy organizes itself in a way that conveys confidence, clarity, and serenity. Developing this presence in daily life requires practice, but not excessive effort. Start by paying attention to your body's sensations while conversing. Notice your rhythm, your breathing, the subtle movement of your shoulders, and the weight of your feet on the ground. These small adjustments bring you back to the present moment and reinforce an inner posture that no one can see, but everyone feels. When your mind isn't wandering between fears and expectations, your gaze becomes firmer, your walk more steady, and your silence more comfortable. And it's precisely this combination that makes your presence stand out, creating that impression of quiet security that inspires confidence without you needing to utter a single word. Ultimately, overcoming insecurity isn't about becoming perfect, but about being present. Each adjustment you've learned here, from posture to gaze, from walk to silence, gradually builds a more stable and self-aware version of yourself. Now, the important question is, what are you going to do with this? How do you intend to apply this knowledge in future conversations, meetings, and the small battles of your day? The transformation begins the moment you decide to put what you've learned into practice. So think, what silent gesture can you improve today? What boundary do you need to establish? Where does your presence need to be firmer? Small actions create big changes, and it is this constant movement that shapes the inner security you seek. If this content helped you see a new path, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. This way, you continue to receive videos that strengthen your mind, your emotional posture, and your ability to inspire confidence without opening your mouth.